Honorable Godfrey Ali Geya was the chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Sport in the 6th Assembly, a geologist and strong member of the People's Democratic Party, Kaduna State Chapter Caucus. Geya was also the state coordinator of Goodluck Jonathan 2015 Presidential Campaign Council. Speaking to Sunday Sun in Abuja, Geya, a former representative of Jaba and Zangon Kataf Federal Constituency in the lower legislative chamber, delved into several contentious issues bordering on the rising incidences of insecurity and marginalization in his state, Kaduna, the ALMAJIRI menace in northern Nigeria, the PDP 2023 presidential zoning arrangements, and the controversial Jumbo package for the National Assembly members, among others. Why has killing and criminalities continued in your state, Kaduna? He said the killings have links with criminality, religion, and policies such that it has become difficult to separate one from the other. The youth are idle. There's joblessness and poverty everywhere in Kaduna. From the point of criminality, people are attacked and dispossessed of their belongings. The blames should be on the doorsteps of the government because this administration has not been able to provide the necessary machinery to checkmate what has been happening in the state in the past few years. It is a very serious indictment on this government because it has done nothing. It is more disappointing that even when you give government long notice of an impending attack, nobody will act or react until the attack was carried out before they start rushing. There is criminality, especially when you look at the aimlessness of the ALMAJIRI system that are ready-made suits for whoever wants to cause mischief to recruit from the pool. Talking about ALMAJIRI, what did you think is the way forward from the menace in the north? He said, honestly, ALMAJIRI is currently the biggest headache confronting the country. We are not just sincere with the ALMAJIRI system because instead of confronting the menace, they make it look like religious issue. Yet the truth is that even the wealthy Muslims in the north don't send their children to do ALMAJIRI. It has become like a class system when the poor and downtrodden have their children in ALMAJIRI while it has no room in the families of the wealthy and the rich. ALMAJIRI has actually become a very big menace. Politicians use them when they want to win elections only to dump them as urchins hanging on the streets for survival. In Kano, for instance, there is no way they can maintain social or physical distancing because of the crowd. Greater percentages of the population are children scattered everywhere without anywhere to put their heads. Sadly, nobody wants to be connected with ALMAJIRI, yet they become relevant when it is time to use them to rig elections like hijacking of ballot boxes. We should be very fair to Goodluck Jonathan, who wanted the system to be resolved by constructing ALMAJIRI schools all over the country, particularly in the north. But unfortunately, those that should be frontline beneficiaries sabotaged the project, making ALMAJIRI a big problem to the country. When the deposed Emir of Kano became critical of the system, he turned an enemy to most northern establishments. So unless we northerners dialogue over ALMAJIRI system holistically and find a bearing to handle their welfare and situation, it remains a time bomb that may consume everybody. What is your impression about the administration of your state governor, Malam El-Rufai? He said, I will say so far not so good because Kaduna before the advent of El-Rufai is naturally a very fragile state. Governors before him have always been very careful in managing the fragility so that no section or sector is seen as worthless in the polity of the state. But El-Rufai came with vendetta specifically to deal with Southern Kaduna people for not voting for him. The excuse that we, the Southern Kaduna, did not vote for the APC should not ordinarily matter. After emerging as governor, he would have been governor for every section regardless of those that voted or did not vote for him. He should have given to the sections what is statutorily due to them. But Southern Kaduna has suffered the highest level of the marginalization under El-Rufai since the advent of democracy in terms of appointment, execution of projects which has become impossible in that part of the state under him. Our sin is that we did not vote for the APC. Our people are unapologetic because politics is all about choices. Nobody ought to be persecuted or account of or their choice of voting. We are enduring, waiting and hoping that the Aplisat will turn in 2023 elections. So guys, the two issues here I just want to quickly address with the man's question here. They talk about Amajiri in Kano State, and that is where Buhari always gets his votes. So what kind of vote does he get? They will tell you has a billions of vote there, millions of votes, as the case may be. Then how does he get his vote when they use this kind of a system? And again, El-Rufai and Buhari, they have a kind of a similarities. The same statement Buhari made when he came into power in 2015, that they don't expect him to concentrate. Development should take place in areas which they did not give him enough votes, gave him 5% and gave him those who gave him more than 90 something percent. And the same thing that we are hearing that is happening to El-Rufai, to those who did not vote for you. And I don't even understand. That means they have the same mindset towards that. Those who did not, must everybody vote for you? Must everybody like you? Do they even like everybody? So in as much you are coming to the public space, everybody must not vote for you. And that kind of statement shouldn't even be coming from such people. Those who always say that they don't have business to be in the position of authority. So let's go on with this man's interview. Before the pandemic, there has been permutation over which zone will produce the president in 2023. What is your take on it? He said the permutation is apparently based on a country that technically has two major political parties with the chance of winning the presidency, like the PDP and of course the APC. We should not lose sight of the fact that two political parties have their own internal working arrangements and constitution. For those of us in the PDP, we still believe that since the last PDP president came from the south, in line with the straight line divide when it comes to presidency, the PDP is working on retaining secondus for the second time as national chairman, which effectively means, according to PDP's internal arrangement, that the next presidential candidate of the PDP should come from the north. However, it is not to undermine merits and the fact that when there is no quality person from the region, they should give us half-baked candidates. Exactly. Present the best, not even just by the region. That is what I'm always advocate for. Present your best. We are tired of producing people that cannot go in there and administer the job because he's a quota system president. We should not also forget that there is zoning in the APC, and if what they are saying is that the presidency should go to the south after Buhari finishes his 8-year tenure, the expectation is rife that the party should support a southern presidency. However, the problem is that if the two major parties have their presidential candidates from different divide, it may be a potential national problem because people may not vote based on party but on sentiment. It is a potential trouble, a wrong signal, and what the political class must work hard to avert to ensure that the quest for political position did not throw Nigeria into any kind of crisis. COVID-19 has already made some impact on the 2023 elections because, as we can see, almost all the due dates for the PDP Congress have been postponed. It is becoming a very serious issue in the PDP because of what Secondus did in converting the existing ESCOs to caretaker committee from ward to state level. Of course, many people are not satisfied with that because if there should be caretaker committee, it should have been neutral group or persons who will now organize a very thorough and transparent Congress. Unfortunately, those people appointed caretaker are also interested in continuing.